1, 2, 3, and 4.
Good afternoon. I invite you to please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem and the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance. The national anthem will be sung by Aaron O'Malley and J.J. Blanchard. The Pledge of Allegiance will now be led by Class Vice President Camilla Burton.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I would like to now introduce the president of the class of 2026, Colin Trimble.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the Foxborough High School class of 2026. We are gathered here today to celebrate and acknowledge all we've accomplished in the past 4 years. This day could not have been possible without the support of the Foxborough High School facility and staff, as well as our families and friends. Thank you for being here. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Pastor William Dudley forward for our invocation. Pastor Dudley is a 1976 graduate from Foxborough High School and ministers in the Union Church of South Foxborough. Please welcome Pastor Dudley.
If I ever do this again, I'll give $50 to whoever won't mention what year I graduated. Sam Burns was dealt a difficult hand in the game of life. At 18 months of age, he was diagnosed with progeria, an incurable disease in which a person ages to old age before the age of 20. Sam's parents, God bless them, tackled things head on. They founded the Progeria Awareness Foundation. Sam was a celebrity at Taylor School when I was a volunteer there. He was sweet, he was funny, he was kind. He was extremely intelligent. While he was still a teen, he hosted Progeria Awareness Night at a Boston Bruins game and another at a New England Patriots game. He gave a TED Talk, viewed 54 million times, with 1.1 million likes and 51,000 comments. All three are YouTube records. the person most seen on YouTube was from Foxborough High School. His documentary, Life According to Sam, aired on HBO and won several awards. Sam's courage was incredible. He was articulate, advocating for those with his illness, and he blessed literally thousands of families in the whole world. And he loved this school, Foxborough High School. It was hard for all of us when he passed on January 10, 2014. Sam was 17 years old. Sam was the best of the best. We can make it our goal to be 1/10 as positive as Sam. And if so, every member of the class of 2026 and all of us here can leave the world a better place. Congratulations to the very talented class of 2026. Congratulations to my nephew, Elliot Link. I love you and I'm proud of you. Heavenly Father, I pray that you would guide the men and women of this class, that they may make individually and together a positive impact on our world and be blessed in their own lives by your great kindness. Amen.
I would now like to introduce the principal of Foxborough High School, Dr. James Donovan.
Good afternoon, members of the school committee, Assistant Superintendent Burrows, Superintendent Burdos, family, friends, faculty, staff, and most importantly, members of the class of 2026. Each year at commencement exercises, we honor those faculty and staff members of the Foxborough Public Schools who are retiring and thank them for their service, not only to the class of 2026, but to all of the children of Foxborough. The years that I will indicate represents the years that these individuals have been with the Foxborough Public Schools. This year, we recognize and honor Lisa Alden, a teacher for 19 years, Ellen Brissett, an educational assistant for 9 years, Teresa Burns, an educational assistant for 20 years, Betsy Dendunnen, a special education teacher at the high school for 22 years, Lynn Doolin, a food service and courier in the district, Janie Dudley, an educational assistant for 25 years, Scott Ferbert, a social studies teacher at the high school for 28 years, Elaine Gallagher, an IT specialist for 13 years, Jean Gaudette, a bus driver for 13 years, Holly Geffers, an English teacher at the high school for 21 years, Marianne Madden, an extended day worker for the district for 18 years, and Patty Passetti, a teacher for 22 years. In total, these retirees have provided an astounding 230 years of service to the students of Foxborough. I would like to invite any who may be here today to please stand up and to give all of them a round of applause. At this time, I would now like to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Amy Burdos.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Welcome to our graduates, to your families, friends, school committee, faculty, staff, and honored guests. We're all here to celebrate you. Also, a special welcome to those that are joining us via live stream. We're incredibly grateful to Foxboro Cable Access, who continue to keep us connected. Today is a moment of celebration, reflection, and transition. It marks the culmination of years of hard work, growth, and perseverance. Those who've heard me speak at graduation may remember that I often draw from books, especially children's books. The most meaningful lessons don't always come from complex ideas, but from simple stories that we first encounter as children. Two such stories, one that you might be a little bit more familiar with than the other. Not a Box by Antoinette Portis, and the other that might be more familiar, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. They both offer us lessons that are especially fitting today. In Not a Box, a rabbit looks at something plain, a box, and insists that it is so much more. It becomes a race car, a mountain, a rocket ship. While others see something ordinary, a cardboard box, the rabbit sees endless possibilities. He sees a world shaped entirely by imagination. In the other story, we meet Max, who sails away to a world full of chaos and imagination, where he becomes the king of the wild things. It's exciting, unpredictable, and a little overwhelming. On his journey to a land of wild creatures, he boldly claims his place among them and ultimately discovers the importance of returning to what grounds him, home. Changed, but still himself. At first glance, these stories may seem unrelated, even whimsical, but together they reveal something deeply important. Growth requires both the imagination to see possibilities and the courage to step into the unknown. How you see the world and how bravely you enter it shapes who you become. Over the years, each of you have encountered your own boxes, expectations, assignments, challenges, and responsibilities. At times, they felt limiting. Yet, like the rabbit, you've learned to reimagine them, turning obstacles into opportunities and effort into achievement. Like Max, you've also stepped into the unfamiliar, sometimes challenging environments, new classes, relationships, and experiences. At times, you felt in control. At others, things felt a little wild. But through it all, you have shown resilience, adaptability, and growth. You have navigated new experiences, built relationships, and discovered your strengths. Max leaves his room, enters the unknown, faces chaos, and ultimately decides who he wants to be. That's where you are right now. As you stand at this threshold, the future may feel like an unopened box, uncertain and even intimidating. There's no clear roadmap, but what you carry forward is more valuable. Creativity, courage, and a community that supports you. So as you move on, remember, see possibility where others see limits. Step into the unknown, even if the path is unclear. Because no one has it figured out yet. Growth is a lifelong journey. The road ahead may feel wild and unpredictable, but like Max, you can face it, lead through it, and decide who you want to be. And like the rabbit, you can transform what seems ordinary into something meaningful on your own. Growing up doesn't mean losing imagination. It means learning how to use it. There will be moments when the world feels chaotic and confined. In those moments, remember, you have a choice. You can see limits, or you can see possibilities. We are not limited by the boxes we are given, and like Max, we can step into the unknown, return stronger, and know who we are. You are not just graduating from high school. You are stepping out of one version of your story and into one you get to create, where that box can be a rocket ship, where the wild things are still worth facing, and where you get to decide every single day who you become. Carry your roots with you, but don't be afraid to grow beyond them. Go forward with courage, curiosity, and purpose, and write only the story that you can tell. Congratulations, class of 2026.
I would like to introduce Mr. Nathan Ehrman, speaking on behalf of the Foxboro School Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the whole school committee, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2026, along with all of your family and friends, teachers, administrators, and everyone here to celebrate this great occasion. For me personally, it's very meaningful to be standing up here today because just a few years ago, I was sitting in the exact same spot you are all sitting in today. I remember all the feelings of nervousness, excitement, and everything else that came along with this amazing, life-changing event. This graduation ceremony is yours, class of 2026. It is the culmination of all of your successes and achievements, of all the challenges you overcame, and of all the hard work that brought you here. Each and every one of you is sitting here today because of the hard work you put in, the challenges you overcame, and the effort you gave to get to this moment, but behind all of that, you had people supporting you every step of the way. In fact, many of those same people are sitting here today celebrating this moment with you. Family members who believed in you and never gave up, your teachers whose inspiration made you believe that if you set your mind to it, anything was possible, coaches, mentors, co-workers, and friends who encouraged you when times were tough and pushed you to keep going. As you move forward, whether that's college, the military, trade school, work, or a completely different path, I hope you never forget the classrooms that you sat in, the teachers who taught you, the long nights of studying, the laughs in the hallway, and the friendships you created in the process. Speaking of friendships, hold on to those people. Your friends are more than just your classmates. They are people you can lean on. They are the people who saw you grow, who stood beside you during difficult moments, and who celebrated your successes with you. Life moves fast after graduation, but the connections you made here matter. And on a personal note, getting to watch my sister Ariana graduate today makes all of this even more meaningful for me. I've had the privilege of watching her grow from a shy kid into a confident leader who threw herself into everything Foxborough had to offer. Whether it was serving as a class officer, leading Decker, or being a captain of the tennis team, along with so much more, I couldn't be prouder of her and the entire class of 2026. In life ahead, there will always be days where you're not really sure of what you're doing and where you're going in life. When this happens, always remember that you have everyone around you to rely on, so there's never a problem you need to face alone. There's a quote that always stood out to me. Once a warrior, always a warrior. And to me, that's really what Foxborough is about. It's not just a slogan or a mascot. It's the idea that what you learn here doesn't stay here. It shows up in how you carry yourself, how you treat people, and how you handle life when things aren't easy. It's discipline, it's effort, it's showing up even when you don't feel like it. That's what being a warrior actually means, not just in school, but after it too. So when people say Foxborough will always be a part of you, it's not just something you hear at a ceremony. It shows up later in small moments you don't expect. Maybe it's coming back for Founders Day and realizing nothing really feels as far away as you thought it would. Driving through on your way to Gillette and remembering what it was like sitting in those classrooms, thinking about what was next, or running into someone years down the line and realizing you never really stopped knowing each other. You might all go in different directions, different towns, different jobs, different paths, but you'll still share this place, these people, and everything you went through here. So as you move forward, don't forget the basics of what got you here. Work hard, be decent people, stick by the people who stuck by you, take chances even if they don't work out right away, and remember that you're carrying a piece of Foxborough with you, whether you notice it or not. No matter where life leads, I hope you can take pride in it all, and I hope sometimes you find a reason to return here and know that it gave you much more than you ever imagined. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Each year at commencement, we acknowledge those students who have made the decision to join the United States Armed Forces. This year, we are very proud to recognize Harry Davidson and Jackson Trevizio, who have enlisted in the Marine Corps. Jonathan Horgan and Ryan LaCroix, who have enlisted in the Navy. Rihanna Nunez and Kawan Diaz, who have enlisted in the Mass National Guard. Erica Brandt and Adrian Hall, who are in the Army. And Olivia Morin, who will be in a ROTC program for the Navy. At this time, we would like to invite any service members in our audience today that are currently serving or who have previously served in the armed forces to please stand and be recognized. Your willingness to serve and your dedication to our country is greatly appreciated. Thank you all for your service, past, present, and future. This past Wednesday evening, we held our scholarship night for the class of 2026. This year, 78 seniors were awarded 105 town scholarships totaling $219,000 and $219,435, excuse me. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of the donors and organizations that support our seniors every year through their individual scholarships programs. Their generosity and investment in our students, the class of 2026, is incredible. Thank you. Our first student speaker today is Class President Colin Trimble.
Good afternoon, administrators, facility, family, friends, and the reason we're all here today, the class of 2026. Before I begin, I think it's important to acknowledge something we're all thinking right now. Scheduling graduation the day after Founders Day was certainly an interesting decision. I'm sure we're all well rested and had an early night and thankful for the afternoon start. As I thought of what to say today, I kept coming back to a simple idea. Thank goodness for Foxborough. When people look at Foxborough High School from the outside, one of the first things they might notice is our small size. We have one of the smallest enrollments in the Hockomock League and other surrounding schools. On paper, that might look like a disadvantage, but in reality, it's been one of our greatest strengths, because being part of a small town means something different. It means you're not just part of a class, you're part of a community. Look at the people sitting around you. You know them, they sat next to you in class, you saw them on the stands on Friday night, you watched them perform in concerts, you competed with them, you grew up with them, and that connection changes everything. It raises expectation, it builds pride, and it creates a culture where people show up and care for each other. That culture is why I came home 2 years ago. We sit here on the precipice of a major life change. Some of us will be leaving Foxborough. We don't have those familiar faces sitting next to us everywhere we go, but we will always have Foxborough in our hearts and our memories, and the feeling that we're all special because we came from Foxborough. So here's your reminder, that feeling with you, don't settle for being average, don't settle for comfort, don't settle for low expectations, don't settle for becoming less than what you're capable of, because for the last 4 years, that's exactly what our class refused to do. Year after year, Coach Martinelli famously says, Foxborough proves its success isn't determined by size, but by culture and work ethic and commitment to excellence. That commitment showed up in our classrooms. We saw students push through AP courses like AP US History, AP Language, and AP Calculus, staying after school for extra help and preparing for exams that demanded college-level thinking. We saw students earn National Honor Society recognition, DECA state qualifiers, and academic awards that reflected hours of long studying past the final bell. That same drive showed up in the athletic fields. We watched football teams battle through deep playoff runs and capture state championships. Basketball teams compete against larger schools in the tournament. And soccer, golf, hockey, baseball, and lacrosse programs consistently reach the postseason. That dedication carried on to our music program. Band, chorus, and jazz ensemble students spent countless hours in rehearsals preparing for concerts, competitions, and marching band performances, from halftime shows under the lights on Friday nights to all state musicians representing Foxborough on the bigger stages. And that same work ethic defined our clubs and organizations. DECA students prepared and competed in state and international level. Student council organized school-wide events that shaped our culture and experience. The robotics team built and competed with machines that represented hours of trial, error, and problem solving. Peer leaders, volunteers, and club members didn't just join groups, they strengthened them, expanded them, and left them better than they found them. That's who we are. What stands out most to me isn't any of the trophies, titles, or awards. It's how we show up for one another. Whether it was a football game, a concert, a fundraiser, a club event, or a championship run, our class showed up. That's one of the greatest advantages of going to school in a small town. We're connected, we know each other, we support each other, and when one group succeeds, the entire community celebrates. And that's what makes us special. Before I finish today, I want everyone here to take a moment and look around. Today is a celebration of our accomplishments, but none of us got here alone. Behind every student sitting here is a parent, guardian, family member, teacher, coach, mentor, or friend that supported us along the way. They drove us to practices and rehearsals and helped us through challenges. They believed in us when we doubted ourselves. They sacrificed their time, energy, and countless hours so that we could have the opportunity we have today. So before we walk across the stage, let's take a moment to thank those people who helped us have this day possible. Thank you to our family, friends, and loved ones. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank my parents and everyone who has supported me. Thank you for my constant support, encouragement, and belief in me through every stage of this journey. I would not be standing here today without you, and I'm grateful for everything you've done for me. And that brings me back to the message I want to leave you with today. Don't settle for being average, not because you need to be the best, not because you need to impress other people, but because you owe it to yourself to see what you're capable of. The easiest thing to do in life is to become comfortable and lower your expectations. But every accomplishment we celebrated over the past 4 years came from people who chose not to do that. Most importantly, remember that you graduated from Foxborough High School, and that makes you special. For 4 years, our class has shown what can happen when people choose to expect more from themselves and support one another along the way. Let's not let graduation be the end of our commitment to strive for more. Rather, let's see the moment that we started to share what makes us special about the Lord. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you. I would now like to present the class valedictorian, Shiza Hussein.
Good afternoon, family, friends, teachers, and most importantly, congratulations to my fellow classmates of the class of 2026. My name is Shiza Hussein, and it is both an incredible honor and a humbling experience to stand before you as your class valedictorian. I want to start off by mentioning that this honor isn't just mine alone. To my parents, thank you for constantly showing me what hard work truly looks like and for being the backbone of every single thing I've done. Your love, your sacrifices, and your encouragement have shaped me into the person I am today. I hope I made you both very proud. I'd also like to take a moment to thoroughly thank my older sister, Sasha. From helping me decide which picture should be the cover on my Instagram post to rereading my college essays at midnight, you've always been my first call for everything. Your support and guidance is unwaveringly seen in every milestone I've reached, and I would not be standing here today without your encouragement, honesty, and belief in me. Thank you for being my biggest role model, and I know that I love you always. Standing here today, I could talk about grades or goals or the journey that brought us all to this moment. But when I reflect on these 4 years, what stands out most has nothing to do with any of that. What comes to mind first is the people. I moved to Foxborough when I was 9 months old, which means this community has been shaping me for almost my entire life, mostly without me even noticing. But having spent the last few months preparing to leave, I've come to understand something I never thought to question before. What made this place special was never the town itself, but always the people in it. I think about coaches pulling us aside after a tough loss, not to talk about the score, but to remind us who we were. I think about the teachers who stayed after the final bell rang because the concept still wasn't clicking, who wrote thoughtful college recommendations, and who genuinely cared whether we succeeded or not. I think about the friends who showed up to things that didn't matter and somehow made them matter. And I think about the classmates sitting in this room right now, the ones who challenged me, disagreed with me, made me laugh, and pushed me to be better just by being themselves. It is those people who made Foxborough more than a place. You all made it home. When I think about who I am today, I can trace almost every part of it back to somebody in this community. None of it was built alone, but built by every person who showed up, even in the smallest ways. And I think that is the thing we need to carry forward. We are graduating into a world that is moving faster than any generation before us has had to navigate. The problems ahead are complex, and the answers are not always clear. But one thing our time here has taught us is that the best solutions rarely come from one person thinking alone. They come from people who are willing to think together. And that kind of collaboration requires something that can't really be graded or ranked. Knowing how to actually listen to someone you disagree with, how to make room for a perspective that isn't yours, and how to show up for the people around you even when it isn't convenient. That is a skill this community has been teaching us for years, even when we didn't realize it was happening. Whatever you go on to do, medicine, art, engineering, teaching, building, or leading, bring that with you. The world needs people who know how to think alongside each other, and we happen to be a room full of them. Goodbyes are only hard when something matters, and I think that's worth sitting with today. But today is also a celebration of everything we've built and everything we've become. 4 years of showing up, pushing through, and growing into people who are ready for what comes next. We take the lessons, the resilience, and the relationships this community gave us wherever we go, and I could not be more excited to see what this class does with it. So to the class of 2026, as we walk out of here today, I hope you carry the people with you. I hope you remember that wherever you go, you bring a little bit of Foxborough and a little bit of each other with you. Thank you and congratulations.
Superintendent Burdos, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Burrows, and members of the school committee. I am able to certify to you that each of these diploma candidates has met or exceeded the requirements for graduation established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Foxborough School Committee. They are worthy recipients of a Foxborough High School diploma. I would now like to invite Dr. Burdos, School Committee Chair Nathan Ehrman, and the Assistant Principals, Mrs. Holmes and Mr. Scazzaro forward to assist with the presentation of diplomas.
Colin Trimble. Camilla Burton. Sydney Jonas. Ariana Ehrman. Sydney Ta. Shiza Hussein. Isabel Thies. Abida Abdul Latif. Trevor Albury. Andreas Amaro. Jack Asensios. Julia Atkinson. Declan Bailey. Deepak Bazaretti. Joel Batista. Cassidy Bedrolt. Gabriel Boulay. Tristan Bolay. Dara Berteman. Vivian Banal. Joseph Blanchard. Faith Bober. Lauren Bober. Luciana Bacuzzi. Paige Bolligan. Yasmin Bugosa. Elizabeth Brancato. Erica Brandt. Smith Bristol. Andrew Broderick. Ryan Brown. Lucas Budrakis. Aaron Bush. Maria Carrasca Ramirez. Timothy Chase. Isabella Cleary. Sophia Cleary. Gabby Cobbett. Mia Collado. Liam Cons. Dana Corliss. Harry Davison. Julia DiGiorgio. Cameron Deleski. Aaron Delgado Harazo. Kawan Diaz. Javon Diaz. Anthony D'Annunzio. Shay Dorney. Joshua D'Souza. Jamar DeBose. Lanaya Edge. Jaden Enright. Shella Exantis. Josiah Fabe. Prodromos Farsakidis. Maria Ferraro. Emma Fizzler. Sarah Fitzgerald. Mia Flanagan. Jada Florestal. Jalen Floyd. Brian Foley. Giovanni Ford. Helen Elizabeth Foreman. Trevor Franco. Kylie Garrity. Moses Gay. Zachary Jorgantis. Aiden Gill. Matthias Goers. Samuel Goldman. Ashley Goldstein. Catherine Grace. Annabelle Gray. Henry Griffin. Jacqueline Groves. Adrian Hall. Elizabeth Harvey. Ava Hausbrook. Colby Hassett. Reese Hasman. Jonathan Horgan. Maxwell Iorio. Ryan Marcoux. Anne-Marie Janis. Maya Kaiser. Ian Kane. Maximilian Keene. Lily Kelly. Megan Kelly. Eamon Kelly.
Timothy Kersner Greenwell. Olivia Coles. Marian Kovalik. Allison Krall. Ryan LaCroix. Harrison Lamson. Anna LaValle. Charles LaValle. Maggie Lavery. Samantha LeClaire. Amara Lee. Oliver Leonard. Elliot Link. Molly Lockwood. Ava Lopez. Cameron Lucas Pelletier. Sophia Lucente. Victoria Madden. Dominic Maddox. Keegan McGuire. Callie Martyr. Alejandro Marte. Owen McAuliffe. Samantha McAuliffe. Michael McCabe. Malachi McCarthy. Maya McCruz. Ethan McHugo. Maria McKinney. Ainsley McWilliams. Johnsley Milius. Clara Miranda. Paul Moran. Olivia Morin. Nana Aisha Muhammad. Michael Murphy. Tiana Murray. Joshua Netson. Rihanna Evelise Nunez Valdez. Matthew O'Keefe. Erin O'Malley. Rachel O'Neill. Caroline O'Toole. Trevor Palmer. Nyla Penders. Ella Peters. Owen Philbin. Mitchell Piasecki. Maxwell Pond. Adriana Perazzo. Elise Rancifer. Brooke Resnick. Earthen Rador. Caitlin Reel Kaiser. Courtney Reel Kaiser. Addison Riley. Morgan Riley. Isaac Rivera Pimentel. Jaden Rocha. Nialise Rodriguez. Michael Ruo. Kylie Sampson. Addison Sham. Colby Sheehan. Madarin Simpson. Veronica Sweden. Lyra Nicole Souza Silva. Aliana Stamatos. Kathleen Staruski. Riley Staruski. Benson Stone. Aiden Stowe. Stevie Strahan. Bismarck Suarez. Brian Sullivan. Mark Sullivan. Kay Taylor Lodge. Kiki Taylor Lodge. Savina Tibb. Stephen Tortora. Zach Townsend. Fee Tran. Panagiotis Triantafilidis. Jackson Trebuzio. Zachary Tubbs. Evan Vieira. Ronan Werns. Michael Whidden. John Wigmore. Lila Zabo. Ziad Zarumba.
While we are waiting for the last of our students to have their pictures taken off stage and return to their seats, I would just like to take a moment to thank the many people who make today's celebration for the class of 2026 so special. First, our FHS band students who played wonderfully today under the direction of Mr. Bush. Judy's Village Flowers in Foxborough for the beautiful floral arrangements that have been at all of our events this week. Briggs Nursery in North Attleboro for the greenery in front of the stage today. Our district custodial staff for their work preparing for today over the last few weeks, especially our team today and Mike Ferraro, who have done so much work at the high school this week. I'd like to thank the Foxborough Police Department for their assistance outside today. Mike Weber and the entire FCA TV crew and all the volunteers. They are an incredible organization that helps FHS reach the world, so they are just incredible, and thank you again to them. And finally, to our incredible main office staff, including Mrs. Burns and Mrs. Bannister, without whom today would not be possible. Awesome. Now, the last of our students are almost in place. We'll let them get there. A couple more. We want to make sure everyone's back before this next step. So I appreciate your patience. All right, now that everyone is back and in their place, I would invite our graduates to please stand, turn around, and face today's audience.
Seniors, would you please move your tassels from right to left?
It is with pleasure that I present to you the graduating class of Foxborough High School. You can throw your hats. This concludes commencement today. I would invite our graduates to please now follow our faculty out of the gym. I would ask families to remain in the gym until our graduates return from the cafeteria with their belongings. This will take us only a few minutes. Mr. Bush, please.